Good morning, this is Jack from Charting the Markets Crypto, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Friday, the 4th of April. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my tactical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing, learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right. Okay, there's been some really interesting action overnight on here, and I've got there's a theory I've been running, and I almost discarded it yesterday because it didn't look as though it was going to happen, but I'm wondering about it today. So we've seen a decent little decline here on crypto, but crypto is holding up relatively well. We broke the new, because this is not unusual. We had a bear flag set up and then expanded into a larger bear flag setup, and that bear flag setup is broken down. I think this is on the way back to testing 76.6, but I have a theory for something that might happen on the way, and that is that I'm thinking we might go back and retest this high, set up a double top, and then break down from that. Now, I have to say, mainly I'm looking at Solana and Ethereum for this, because of course I have mentioned we're in a big support area here. This is the bull flag low from last year at 110.02. I'd like to not see that breaking significantly, or really ideally at all, for the moment. But I was talking to Matt the other day, and my friend Matt the other day, and I was saying that this flag I thought would break down, but I said if crypto could outperform, there are a few ifs on this scenario, but it's not a bad one. And given that crypto has held up so well over the last day, while SPX has dropped basically the last 250 points, I'm thinking it might have a shot. Now, what that shot is if we can hold this area here, ideally above 110.02, but if it's below it, not far below it, then we could set up a double bottom here for a rally, because when we get down to the 5100 area on SPX and these other support areas I've been talking about on NDX and Dire, I'm thinking we might well see a decent rally, and we could see that rally on here as well, and we would have a double bottom set up here that potentially, if we can find a buyer on Solana, which has been difficult to find, they've been difficult to locate lately, but potentially that's got a double bottom here, which would have a target up in about the 180 area, where we've obviously got quite a lot of resistance. I'm thinking that might actually happen, and the action overnight has been pretty encouraging. We will see how that goes, but if that's the case, then we could see a rally up to 180, probably a sell at that stage, and then very possibly come back and break support. But that is I outlined it a couple of days ago, and it's still on the table. And the overnight action is pretty encouraging for it. Now, it may be that as equities continue to go down, which they're probably going to, then we see that break support. But for the moment, it's looking pretty good. Now, on Ethereum, we also had a bear flag, as we had on all three of them, and that has made target. But here, you can see we're forming potentially a little nested double bottom. If this can hold support, then we can see a rally on that too. A sustained break up over 2103 would have a target in about the 2450 area. And I think that's got a shot. That would be a decent match with this declining resistance trend line. I'm wondering about it. Now, maybe that we're going to see a breakdown on crypto today, and we see Ethereum and Solana break their support hard, and watching out for that. But I have to say, the overnight action is encouraging, and that might be something. This could be the story of the next week if it can hold support here. So I'm watching that carefully. Bigger picture, doesn't make any difference really on the Bitcoin overall setup. I think we've got this flag is in due course going to make this retest target at 76.6, and then after that I'm still liking 69 to 70. But I would say this has been holding up reasonably well. I'm not seeing this as being in an overall bear market until we see a break of this very big support area. And we are a long way away from that at the moment. And there are a number of ways this equities thing could develop, because the question is, we've had the news a couple of days ago about the tariffs. Now the question is, with if we see the market goes basically into a technical bear market on equities in the 5100 area, which I think is pretty much where it does go, it reaches the 20% decline level, then it may be there will be a reaction, and of course there will have been reactions and more tariffs and reactions from trading partners by then. It might be that we see the White House change course, and we could be that we would see room for a sizable rally in there, and possibly even on equities. stretching a bit here, but possibly even retests of the high. So I'm keeping an open mind in terms of the way that this situation develops. Best never to get married to any particular scenario, in my view. But I think I'm really liking this target down here at 69.70. I think that's probably going to be made. But there are a number of ways we can get there. So I'm liking this rally scenario. I'm going to write up a quick post about it today before I take the rest of the day off, because it's just been a really long week. So we will see. Okay, right. Having a quick look at questions. Yeah, I would support a relief rally in indices, and we've got a relief rally coming in indices. I don't think it's quite there yet, but in a couple of hundred handles on SPX, we'll reach the targets that I was talking about in my post on Tuesday. And that is the really, really obvious place to see that relief rally. And that could be a strong relief rally. We will see how that goes. And potentially that relief rally could actually retest the highs on equities if we actually see some decent good news. I'm skeptical about that, but it's certainly one of the potential scenarios here. And I'm keeping it in mind. I really don't think that it would be a smart move to remain short over the weekend. I really don't. It's who the hell knows what he's going to say over the weekend. Who the hell knows? I think staying short over the weekend would be an extremely courageous move to anyone who isn't. Who basically didn't short when I first published the topping patterns on the 19th of February. I think unless you've got a huge amount in hand here, you could get really, really badly burned on this market. Very courageous, or possibly just stupid to hold over the weekends. I wouldn't recommend it. All right, anyway, have a great weekend. I will catch you again on Monday, and we will see how it goes. But if we hold support today, that's the scenario I'm wondering about, and we will see whether that continues to develop. All right, cheers, guys. Have a great weekend.